Ko te homua, ko te homuri, ko te hautama wāhine, ko te hautama tāne.
Order.
E tū mai rā, te toko toka tāne rā raki.
I'm sorry to interrupt the member. When someone is seeking a call, they should stand and call Mr. Speaker and wait for their name to be called. Can we just start that again, please?
Mr. Speaker.
Nok Kawerau.
Kia ora.
Kia ora.
E te mana whakawā tuarua a tēnā koe. A ko te homua, ko te haumuri, ko te hautama wāhine, ko te hautama tāne. E tū mai rā te toko toka a tāne nui a raki, e tūturu mau ki a whakamau a ka tīna, haumie, huie, tāhiki e. A tēnā rā koutou nā pō waitaka o tō tātou matua tīpuna. A ka me nui ki te mihi atu, ki tō tātou matua nui te raki. A koe e te timataka me te whakauteke o tau katoa. Anō reira ka mihi au ki te kai homai, o ka mea pai katoa. Ka mau mahara mātou ki a rātou, kaitua ko wehi ki tō wairua. Anō reira e koutou rā, o ia marae, o ia iwi, o ia waka, e haere roke ki taro te whānui a tānei, ko tuatara e haere atu rā. E haere atu rā, e hoa, e Eru Thompson. E eru, e haere atu rā ki te pā te whakawairua, e takoto mai, takoto mai. E takoto i rangi māri i rungi i tō waka, e hoi atu tō waka ko tuatarai, e haere atu rā. E eru, e nā e kāraka tira, o te Kawerau a Maki, Ngāti te ata, Ngāti mahanga, Ngāti pūkenga, o tainui waka. Anō reira e hoa, e moi mai. A tēnei te mihi e huri no i te whare maire nei ka mihi ki ka mema katoa. Ko tūtahauno ku kōrako a hau, ko kai whakahaere o te Select Committee o Māori Affairs. Ko auraki mauka e tū mai ake kei uta, e maringi mai i ta awa o Waitaki, rawa ko Waimakariri, ki te tai o Mahanui. Ko te whare Mahanui hoki rawa o te whare o Wheke, kei te rapaki o te raki whakaputa, e tū ana hei anō tēnā tātou katoa. I want to, Mr. Speaker, acknowledge the previous speakers. E mihi atu kia koutou e te ropu reipa, e ngā mihi. Also to our Māori Party whanauka, ngā mihi. I also want to reiterate and support the tautoko, the kōrero, around this incredible journey of te Kawerau a Maki. Kia hau ko kaitahu. I have been there, we have done this journey, and I know what you have gone through and what you are going through. I want to also acknowledge, because we have talked here and remembered your rangatira, Eru Thompson. Can I just tell you that 4 years ago, I worked with Eru. He was an inspiration because we took a garden called Te Putake, a permanent Māori garden we took to France, in northeastern France. And Eru, along with his company that he worked for, New Zealand Forest Limited, along with Jean Jo, Matt Tānui as well, together we worked and we took a tonga from the north, a kauri, a swamp kauri, over 100,000 years old. And together with a piece of pounamu from the Arahura River, we took those together and we set them in that garden in northeastern France, where they remain and will always remain there. But to me, that is significant Mr. Speaker, because that is the journey of two, the Pounamu and the Kodi. And so together, you go on that journey, remembering the journey of Kaitahu as well. So kia ora. Mr. Speaker, I don't want to repeat this fascinating journey to date that these noble people have embarked on and continue to. What I would like to do, Mr. Speaker, is to acknowledge the work of where this will go, where this waka will go shortly after the first reading. And today is my first speech in the House as the chairman of the Māori Affairs Select Committee. And I wanted to remind us all of the origins of this institution and the tikaka that it has established. I'm also reminded of the very able and honourable chairs and members that have served on this very unique select committee throughout its history. Today also I want to mihi to my fellow members on this, the 51st Parliament Māori Affairs Select Committee. Our kaiwhakahaere tuarua, the Honourable Nanaia Mahuta, Rino Terakatni, the Honourable Matiria Ture, Peter Peroni, the Honourable Chester Burrows, Marama Fox and Joe Hayes. And I say to you, ka tikaka no tātou te iwi Māori. Our rights belong to the Māori people. Mr. Speaker, we are reminded that the Native Affairs Select Committee was founded in 1872 to consider the many petitions received from Māori. From the outset, all 4 Māori members of Parliament have sat on the Select Committee. Much of what was considered was to do with Māori land. As Māori whenua required ratification in the House, and many times, Mr. Speaker, most recommendations with significant implications were not successful. Mr. Speaker, still many of the minor decisions were passed, and it was the one parliamentary institution that kept some faith in Māori MPs. Often they were jeered at and ridiculed, and they were also often unable to keep up with the complex debates in English. It was not until the years immediately post-World War II that the term native was replaced by Māori. And the Select Committee became known as Māori Affairs, as did the Government Department. Of course, Mr. Speaker, it was considered some of the nation's watershed bills over the 140 years, including land inquiries and commission reports, the Tohunga Suppression Act, the introduction of Māori committees, and more recently the Treaty of Waitangi Act 1975. The Treaty of Waitangi Fisheries Act, all of the treaty legislation, the Te Reo Māori Act, and the introduction of the Māori Television Service Act 2003, to name a few. Mr. Speaker, a feature of the committee has been a general cross-party collegiality. And I say that word again, collegiality, because that is based on shared Māori values and aspirations. Mr. Speaker, during my tenure as chairman, I want to continue to preside over the open debate and discussion in a non-partisan fashion in order that this can continue to be characteristic of the Māori Affairs Select Committee, particularly personally. So, kia ora to te Kawerau Maki, e piki mai, kake mai, ho mai te wairua. E mauria mai e whakako ki te kaupapa nunui. Nō reira, e koutou rā, a tēnā koutou e mihi atu kia koutou katoa. Kia ora.
I call the member Denise.